Hello, everybody. FAI here, or I here, and welcome back to another Accureye Talks video. And in today's Accureye Talks video, I thought we'd revisit some of my tips for all the characters on Apex Legends, because I felt like, to some degree, I just didn't explain it very well, and also to another degree, it wasn't very well polished. So hopefully this one is a little more well polished and a little better to help you understand how to play every character. And in this case, we're going to start with the easiest characters, leading into pretty much every character coming out in the future, as well as, Crypto and some other characters going on once I kind of get them on my PC account. Because, of course, as you all know, my PC account kind of went abandoned if you haven't been watching my stream for a while. But, of course, I did this back in my PS4 account. So, hopefully these new tips will help you a little bit, and also it can give you a little bit of an idea of some of the changes that have happened since the first time I visited this thing. So first of all, the changes that have happened with Gibraltar, one of them is his revive animation. His revive animation is something that everyone, or that was changed completely, and it's kind of now unique, which is good, and I kind of like that it's a little more unique now. But let's go ahead and start talking about how to play Gibraltar, or at least how to get better at him, because obviously to some degree Gibraltar is a fairly easy character to learn and to play as, because of course his abilities are his arm shield, which is still his passive, and that arm shield of course is still able to allow you to get some protection from the front if someone shoots your shield. Obviously he still has his dome shield, which, like I've said before, is still pretty good, but I wish it was changed to where the dome shield would at least provide firing from the outside, or the inside to the outside, if you were on the team and your Gibraltar team threw out a dome shield, as well as I wish it would also allow you to have gunfire from inside. So if you're in the Gibraltar, or if enemies are in the Gibraltar shield, and they of course end up being able to go inside the enemy shield, you can still fire inside and they won't be protected by it. But again, those are just small changes that I could see, and personally I would like to see going forward with Gibraltar. But anyway, there I was just kind of showing the arm shield as it's still active. You could still toggle it, of course. I think that many people can get used to just seeing the outside of the Gibraltar shield, but it is what it is. So, with that having been said, I mean, like I said, Gibraltar is a fairly easy character. Being fortified, profile-wise, he can take 10% less damage than everyone else, which is a significant difference when it comes down to it, and a significant difference when it comes down to playing Gibraltar. And I mean, this also means that you can get kind of a little bit more aggressive as Gibraltar if you really wanted to. I would still say that you should watch your aggression if you can, but at the end of the day, it's not completely like you have to worry too much about your aggression compared to everything else, as, of course, compared to like everyone else, Gibraltar is a little more forgiving, as I said. And because he is a little more forgiving, you can pretty much, make it to where it's easier to get, like I said, a little more aggressive with him. But overall, I mean, in general, the main idea, of course, with Gibraltar is, to be the tank, or if not, the kind of big shield and big damage absorber for your team. Because, again, that will, of course, help you in general with playing the game and with fighting in the future. Because, yeah, I mean, it's something that you gotta just realize as you progress through, of course, the game, and through, of course, your playstyle, if Gibraltar is your character. Now, obviously, Gibraltar may not always be your character. He may not be someone that you're going to totally like, for say, but he is someone who I think is fairly good for early aggression, and players who want to be, somewhat more aggressive when it comes to playing the game and playing overall. You don't want to, I guess, get too passive. Like, you could be a sniper with Gibraltar, and that'd be fine. You could be a overall just, little bit of a player who kind of does the, the overall, less aggressive play style and, play long range. But again, Gibraltar is fairly versatile in that regard and in that reason. And because he is fairly versatile in that regard and in that reason, it does make him a fairly good character for you to utilize and for you to use in general. Now, like I said, it's something that you gotta think about when it comes down to it, but but of course, it's up to you. At the end of the day, when you are playing the when you are playing the game, and again, like I said, Gibraltar, like I said, is a fairly forgiving character because of his key set, his items, and what he has on him. But it's up to you to decide on what is the best option for you to play with and play overall. It's not going to be something that's set in stone. But matchup wise, Gibraltar likes using going against characters like Grave, going against characters like Lifeline to some degree, and going against characters like even like Octane, because again, while those are fairly fast, mobile, moving characters, they are also very easy to be defeated. They're easily defeated. They're easily characters that you can just knock off your list and say like, yeah, this guy is not going to be much of a problem, or this person ain't going to be much of an issue going forward. And of course, because of that, it will make it much better for you to play overall. So, again, that's just part of my tips and part of my thought process on playing like Gibraltar, and those are some like the matchups that you gotta watch out for, or play confidently against characters like Gibraltar, characters like Caustic, and characters like someone like Bangalore. You might want to be a little more careful around, because again, with their set and their items and their abilities, you're going to have a little bit more of a harder time to realistically fight them. And because it's going to be a little bit of a hard time to realistically fight them, it's going to be not that easy to play as aggressive as you'd like. But I mean, in general, just keep in mind that everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. I just believe that Gibraltar is a little bit easier to play because of his key set and his items that he has available to him. And because of those items that are available to him, it's much easier for him to be in a way of just being overly aggressive if you need to. Now, again, if you watched my team comp video talking about solo comps and team comps, then it's something where you still have to kind of learn to work around your team and kind of adapt to what your team is doing. Because, again, if you're not adapting to what your team is doing, then you may not be able to successfully, adapt or gel with being overly successful with your team. Now, I know this means that you may not get that 20 bomb that you're looking for, but again, if you can get the 20 bomb, great. I'm not stopping you. But again, to get the 20 bomb, especially on a solo queue, means that you'd have to realistically be very, very good. Dedicate a lot of time and a lot of overall ability to this. You can't just, say, like, I'm going to get the 20 bomb on my first try. It's not going to happen. You're never going to be able to get the 20 bomb off your first try. And that's just something that realistically you have to kind of understand. But, you are also not going to be able to get the, get 10, 15, or whatever, you're not going to be able to get all the, stuff that you think you can get off the bat. It's going to take some time. And, with that having been said, I mean, once you've, kind of realized or at least had an idea that it does and it will take some time, it should become a little easier. But overall, Gibraltar is, like I said, fairly forgiving character, fairly easy character, and fairly often more than less able to get the job done and able to do exactly what you need to do, because he has a forgiving set or forgiving items, forgiving abilities, and overall he's just very forgiving. And because he's overall very forgiving, it's easier to realistically be preset and set for what's to come next. Now, again, like I said, it doesn't mean that you're going to be off the bat successful, but you will see some success, probably more so with Gibraltar, because his ult is an air strike. It's probably one of the best ults for a beginner, especially in that it activates quickly. And if you can move between natural cover and stuff, and you can naturally get yourself into, a situation like this one here that is popping up, you should be able to technically, fulfill a ability that you can do. Now, again, this is not like perfect. It's not like going to be something that you can of course have happen immediately, and it's not going to happen immediately. So, you just gotta realize that it will take some time to realistically get the get the situation to happen. And that just comes with practice. That just comes with overall knowing what your limitations are and knowing what you can do, I guess you could say, overall. But I mean, with that having been said, I mean, hopefully, looking back at Gibraltar, this is going to help you, and hopefully you can understand that everything I do will take some time. I mean, even things that I don't do will take some time, and will, take some moments of, understanding that it'll happen eventually. But, at the same time, you just gotta realize that in general, things happen, and because things happen, and they will happen over time, you can, overall just, get better with it. Now, here I noticed that I put a 1x2 scope on my on my Eva. I don't even know why I didn't realize that until I start looking back at the edit now. But either way, I mean, it's something that you just gotta understand. It can happen over time, and it will happen over time. Like I said, Gibraltar is a fairly forgiving character. He's easy to use, easy to, get some actual skill with, and he's easy to actually, be able to survive with. But, it all takes time to know your character, get used to what you're doing, and know that, overall, in general, everything takes time. It takes a lot of learning, and, you're not going to be good at it immediately. But, once you get better, you should be able to understandably make a difference in not only your team, but in solo queuing. And I think one thing is, of course, you gotta realize that when it comes down to solo queuing at all, you've gotta just learn to adapt with what your team has on hand. If you're working with a team that you trust and you're working with a group of friends that trust me, it's going to become much easier to get a lot more W's and a lot more wins. And it's going to be also easier because you can communicate with them. If you're playing with randoms, there may not always be communication between randoms. And, because there's not always communication between randoms, it's harder to realistically make a difference on the team and as a team. But Gibraltar, like I said, fairly forgiving character, especially with his arm shield, because you can take a little extra damage than you normally would, even with the fortified perk. But, hopefully this has helped you. Remember to utilize Gibraltar's skills whenever you can, like his dome shield, his, and of course his ultimate. And then also, utilize that arm shield whenever you're at a distance. Because again, most players are going to start shooting for that arm shield first, and then they're going to go for the head. Sometimes they aren't always going to be aiming for the head because, let's face it, the head is not the easiest part to aim for, especially at a distance. But, with that being said, hopefully, like I said, this has helped you with the revisit on Gibraltar. Hopefully, this has helped you with overall just being better at Gibraltar. And, remember, his matchups, he's more favored to be matched up against someone like Wraith, someone like, Bloodhound, someone like like Crypto, and the main reason he's going to be favorable on those matchups is because, again, those people don't have, an aggressive package for, say, that can overwhelm a Gibraltar easily, unless Gibraltar is isolated. And even then, if you can isolate Gibraltar, I would suggest take him down quickly. But, yeah, with that having been said, his more unfavorable matchups would be someone like Caustic, another Gibraltar, even someone like Revenant may be a little bit of an unfavorable matchup for him because of his sets, and because of what Revenant brings to the table, and because of what Caustic and another Gibraltar brings to the table. But, with that having been said, hopefully this video has helped you, and hopefully this video has made you a better Gibraltar, and just keep practicing no matter what you do. It's going to be a long process before you start dominating anything, even in solo queue action. It's going to be a while before you start dominating, but once you do start dominating, it should become overall easier for you to be successful, and for you to be, be better at the game, even in solo queue, and you would be probably even much better in a team that you trust. But with that being said, thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully this video has helped you, like I said, and and if you like this video, you know what to do. Hit the like button, get subscribed, hit the bell notification, because I know you want to know when my next video drops next. Thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Thank you for watching this video. And I am live on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/FA_EYE or I. I'm live on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday for sure. Wednesday and Thursday I'm live for about 4 to 5 hours. Thursday I'm usually live for Wednesday and Saturday I'm usually live for about 4 to 5 hours. But Thursday I'm usually live for about 2 to 3 hours, and Monday and Tuesday I'm also usually live for about 2 to 3 hours. With that being said, thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Thank you for watching this video. And until the next one, everybody, like I said, this is FAI or I signing out and saying farewell, everyone.